good to see some of you join us. We'll wait until 2 to get started and hopes that more members join us today.
Hi, Colleen. This is Lori. Can you hear me?
Hi, Lori. Thanks for announcing yourself. We'll do introductions in just a minute. I'm just going to give people a few more minutes to log on. I was expecting at least a few more people.
All right.
But we hear you. Great. I think we'll just wait one more minute to get started.
Hey, Colleen, are all of the
That has happened to me with other, like in other situations, like in other webinars on Zoom, but not today.
I also just learned that when you call my phone number, it says the phone number doesn't exist,
So that's
which is
strange.
kind of funny. I might just be having a technology.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that at our state review team meeting, we had no tech issues. Which
Oh,
is
that's a
the
first.
4 years I've been around. So maybe it just is carrying over this afternoon. I was thinking it was because we switched it to a Monday meeting. Anyway, it looks like a lot of people have joined. So let's go ahead and get started. And what we'll do, hopefully you can all see the PowerPoint slide on the screen. I'm hoping that it's shared. But the first thing that I always think is nice to do is for all of us to go around introducing ourselves and our role within our organizations and what state we're from. And then as you may be noticing a bit of a theme, I tend to add a little starter question on here for people to answer as they go through their introductions. And so this month, we have a question around if you've ever provided, to let us know if you've ever provided testimony on a piece of legislation, and then what was the topic. And we will circle back to this conversation at the end of the call today. So to make it easier as people to avoid people talking over each other, I'm going to go down the participant list in the order that it shows up on my screen. It seems seemingly pretty random order, but I think that worked well last month. So starting with Marissa, if you could introduce yourself and let us know if you've ever provided testimony before.
Sure. My name is Marissa Mora. I work at the Colorado School of Public Health as a graduate assistant, and I've never formally given testimony on a piece of legislation.
Okay, thanks. And Jean, or Jeannie, I can't remember if it's Jean or Jeannie, sorry.
Yeah, Jeannie Beats.
Jeannie, okay.
Yeah. Funny you should ask that. We're actually, they're debating our child passenger safety law to go up to age 8 for boosters, and we're facing till 2 and vaccine up until age 8. And I work for the state of Nebraska, so I don't actually provide testimony, but we provide a lot of factual information, fact sheets through our partners, Drive Smart Nebraska. We have a great code system where we can get a lot of good data out of there to show, you know, good things about seatbelt use, child passenger safety, graduated driver's licensing. So that's how we get involved.
Thanks. And Lori, you're up next on my list.
Hi, I'm Lori Haskett with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, Injury and Violence Prevention Director. You know, we are able to provide testimony, but I think the one that I remember the most is several years ago, there was legislation going throughout the state, or the states, related to safe cigarettes. They had like speed bumps in the rolling of the cigarette, so they would self-extinguish to prevent fires. And no one in the health department would say.
That's interesting. It's always kind of interesting when others in the health department aren't able to weigh in, and you get kind of pinch hitter a little bit.
But it passed, and the state actually makes revenue on that bill that they were able to charge, and now they have a fire alarm smoke detector installation program with the funding that is generated from the safe cigarette.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So next on the list, I have Peg.
Hello, yes.
Hi, Peg.
Hello. Okay. Testimony, well, no, we would never be allowed to do that. Yeah, we haven't provided testimony ourselves, but we frequently share information with partners. Helmet repeal is like an annual effort for us. And recently, we have been able to share some information with partners on improving our child passenger safety law, which we are very optimistic about.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And then next on my list, I have Tommy.
Hi, I'm Tommy Keel, and I'm the Interpersonal Violence Prevention Unit Supervisor here at CPHE. No, I have not had the good fortune of having to testify.
Thanks for sharing. And then next up, Felice.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're very quiet.
Oh, okay. I'll try to stop.
It's hard to hear you, Felice. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's fine.
Microphone, I guess, is a little off.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
that's
your
a little
if your computer's shut, if you have to open your computer. I just learned that on our
Oh,
last
well,
call.
that could be it.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Okay. So, hi.
Oh, it's still hard to hear you. Sorry.
Uh,
Put your face right in front of the computer. That makes a big difference. We did notice that on a recent call. It's funny because I can hear you like outside my office, but not on the webcam. But I will, if it's okay with you, Felice is our violence and injury prevention evaluator, and is here at the State Health Department in Colorado as well. And I'm not sure if you've provided testimony before, so maybe if you type that into the chat, that would be
I
helpful.
have not.
Okay, so the answer is no. I have
Okay, great. So I'm Kate. I'm a new community outreach coordinator with CPPHE, and I have delivered testimony on things like
And I have provided testimony for lots of different topics over the years: motor vehicle safety, domestic violence, child fatality review, lots of different drug, opioid related things. What's been interesting legislative session, it's the first I've ever been asked to actually testify in support of something, to say that we actually thought it was a good idea. So that is yeah.
Thanks for sharing. And then Felicia. Okay.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I effort here in Nebraska, and similar to Jeannie and Peg, no, I haven't testified, and I provide a lot of data.
And then I think that the only other person I have on the list is Madeline, who's our special guest today. Before we transition into Madeline's presentation, did I miss anybody else? Okay, great. It's kind of funny, the participant list jumps around, so I have to make sure I kind of track as I go on. So thanks everybody for introducing yourselves and sharing a little bit. As I mentioned, we have a presentation and special guest, Madeline Morcell, who's from the Network of Public Health Law, and presentation, and just let me know when you want me to slides.
Thanks so much, Colleen. As Colleen said, my name is Madeline Morcell. I'm a staff attorney with the Network for Public Health Law West Prevention. Next slide. The Network for Public Health Law is a national initiative of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, launched in 2010 to advance law as a tool to improve public health. It leads the public health law field in areas ranging from health reform to overdose prevention, and provides on our website at networkforphl.org. There, you can learn about the latest developments in public health law in these areas. get and access pre-existing legal assistance resources and training. Next slide. To give you an idea of the ways in which we work at the network, here are the 5 essential public, even though this is illustrated as a continuum, the public health law and policy process is iterative, and there isn't one particular starting point, and you can even skip back several steps. So it just depends on the specific problem. But the network provides public health law technical assistance across all of these domains. So the first is access to evidence and expertise. This is really about identifying and assessing public health problems. Then designing legal solutions is really about assessing the authority, the legal authority to act, designing winnable legal strategies linked with community priorities, ensuring evidentiary justification for legal solutions, as well as that enforcement outset. We also engage communities and build political will for public